Hey guys, what's up? It's your man, Dan from Player 2 side. What's up? And we're going to do a quick, very quick Goldar tutorial, kind of show you the basics of the character. Alright, to give you the basic gist of what Goldar is kind of about, so Goldar is, despite looking like a very big character, is actually quite mobile. Just to give you an idea of what his blink flash looks like. That's the forward one, if I could actually do him. And that's the backwards one. So actually he's quite mobile, he moves pretty fast. On top of that, he's a character all about jumping, which we'll get to. I know his jump looks a little floaty, but we'll get to why that works. So, normals. Stand light is actually pretty far. Pretty good normal for punishing and stuff like that. Stand light, pretty much the opposite, but it is a low. Our cross ups there. And 2M kind of about the same range as light, not super great. But stand M, really, really good range. Look at that. So, you're going to be using this a lot of times to punish things and to really harass your opponent at a mid-range. On top of that, it has an upwards-ish hitbox. Obviously, in this game, jump normals have a lot of priority. The only way you're going to get around jump normals is with anti-airs, which he has good anti-air with back medium. H, nothing to write home about on either of these, really. The crouch one looks like it goes pretty far, but it's actually not as far as you would want, and there's really only one thing you can cancel into to really get good damage off of this, and it's really risky. So I wouldn't recommend it unless you actually hit it. So his special move, so he's got 5S, and then he can do it again to get a farther range one. You can tell by when he flashes blue, that's when he's doing that, right? And then back S, this is mostly a combo tool, but you can use it to anti-air for as well. Let me switch him to controller and go ahead and just hold up. Oops. So you can see you can jump, you can do that. But the thing is if I'm like right here, oops, it's gonna do one of those. So you want to use back M for that. And like I said, this is good range. So those are the normals. The jump normals a little different. This is like probably the most important thing about the character. Every one of these jump normals is really important and integral to his playstyle. So, jump light, I just showed you that you can instant air with it, or instant overhead with it. This is also just, has a lot of range on it, right? But it's never going to cross up. It's always going to be in front. Jump M, on the other hand, is a very ambiguous cross up. Any body splash like that's going to be kind of hard to tell what side is on, right? And then he's got the lounge chair. Now the lounge chair is the H. And this one does a lot of damage and also can cross up. It's a little difficult to get it, but whenever it does cross up, it surprises the hell out of me, and I'm the dude playing them. So definitely is a really tricky thing to deal with. Now, he also has Air S. Swoops in, does that. Now, this isn't particularly very good for anything other than tag stuff. So if I like say I knock you down and then go for like a something like that, that can be kind of hard to block, right? Especially when you're like, oh, he's going to be on the other side of me, but then I tag him Gen, now I'm on the other side of you, or on the same side as you, or vice versa, right? So I guess we, since I just showed it, talk about his assist. So his assist is forward S. Staggers, allows for a full combo. If you use it as the assist, you know, you can either dash up and get a full combo, or if you're got the awareness, you can actually just tag in the Goldar and do combo from there. Which is probably the better idea because Goldar just has ridiculous damage. But it has a little bit of armor, but obviously is really minus on block. So, but characters are generally, or people are generally pretty scared of Goldar. Also, just talking about his normals are pretty safe. With the exception of maybe 2H, I think all of his normals are safe. And if not, regular 5H is safe. So, so his Air S we were talking about. So his Air S you can cancel into a normal actually. So you don't have to do this full sweep. You can do that right there, which simply changes the jump arc. So he's got kind of a floaty jump, right? But when people try to anti-air, like try to anti-air me. So that kind of swoops and changes it, right? So you want to do crouch ace to anti-air. Yeah. So it just changes the jump arc and makes it kind of hard to anti-air. On top of that, this is going to be a tool to use for combos and for mix. So just block my incoming. Not right now. So that, for instance, is something you can do. Block this. No, I'm sorry. They didn't come in. So that was no fly cancel, right? So let's try this one more time. Oops. So, do you get it? do you get it? So, another thing is his throws. So, forward throw is just that right there. It doesn't look like it does a lot of damage, but you can actually get back S after it. So, you get a full combo. And back throw, you don't get a combo unless you're in the corner. So, if you're... go ahead and walk forward for me. If you throw them in the corner, you can actually get a nice little 2L after it. It's a little tough. There. It works. You get a full combo after it. It's a little tough, but you can get it. Show you a quick B and B. Looks a little something like this. You use the stagger point. That uses the wall bound. That uses the ground bound. And essentially you use everything with this character. So that's the basic bread and butter that you can do. Obviously, you can cancel into EX if you wanted to. You can cancel into Super if you wanted to. You can also use an assist like this assist will OTG, so you can get another 5S into 6S after it if you want to. He's got a crap load of damage, so he's good for that. And since we were talking about EX, so EX is pretty simple. It's really easy to combo in the corner. Just do one of these. Basically that same combo that I showed you. And the only difference is when you're not in the corner, you can still get the OTG, but as you can see, 4M's not going to work. So what you have to do... Sorry, stand H. I thought it was stand up. So you actually just do EX into stand H to get this, and then just back S. It's a little weird mid-screen, but it does work. So you do that, full combo, there you go. To give you, I already talked about his anti-airs, but let's talk about his unique normals. So you've seen this a couple times. This is forward medium. This is his OTG, but this is also an overhead. Two things to know about the overhead. One, it's standing overhead. Not every character has that. And two, it hits twice. So they actually, if you want to kind of block the first hit and then crouch it. Okay. So, despite the fact that it hits twice, it's not like Tommy's where you can actually get hit by the second one by trying to crouch. But because it hits twice, actually you can, looks like. Yeah, for some reason sometimes you can't get hit by that. So 2 hits, because the spacing is a little different than Tommy's, you're not going to get hit by this often. But it does link into jab, so you can link crouch and jab into it. I don't recommend crouching jab just because the range. So if you do it from like right here, crouch jab is just going to whiff entirely. But if you do it from there and then do stand jab, it might ill. Now we'll get into some small tech. So he has this 4H. Go ahead and do back SS, back access. So what that does is it reflects projectiles. And you can also use it as like a way to keep yourself safe. So you can do like, if I want to like push you back a little bit. As you can see, it does like no damage. Go ahead and block. But it does push them back a little bit. So you can kind of use that to create a little space if you need to. I don't recommend it very much. It's not the best move in the game. It certainly seems like it would be pretty good, but it's not as good as you think. Another thing about this character, when you saw that combo I did at the very end, so the way the game works is that you get 1 OTG, and that should be all you get. But with this character, for some reason, after this, so I'm gonna do this, do it again. So I already used my OTG. My 6M used my OTG. With this character, you can actually you can actually get a second OTG with 5S. But in order to do that, you have to walk a little bit forward and do it. Or in the current version, of Season 3. You can actually just dash and do it. It's consistent now with that. But I can't guarantee it always will be. So most people walk forward and do that. And that's how that works. The super, nothing to write home about other than it comes from the overhead, like from that position. So it will beat certain supers just by the fact that like he's gonna dash forward, right? So switch to Yellow Ranger real quick. Should be R1. Press it again, and press H and S. Circle and X. So I'm gonna be able to go right over that and punish it. So it's pretty good for stuff like that. But other than that, it's just a regular super. Does a lot of damage, but there's nothing special about it. Now for Zord usage, most of the time people are going to be picking either Megazord or Goldar. The reason for this is the OTG stuff. This one's kind of simple. And then with this Megazord, you're going to do medium. Essentially, you want to do that. Because this OTGs, you're gonna do that. It's a little bit harder with the Megazord than with Goldar. I'll show you Goldar, and you'll get the idea. So essentially, you're just gonna be mashing light during the 6S with Goldar. It's a little bit easier with Goldar just because I think Goldar comes out a bit faster than the Megazord does. A lot easier to time with this. You understand? So that's basically why people pick either Goldar or Megazord. You can do it with the Megazord. Like I said, it's just a little bit harder. But because the Megazord does more damage a little bit faster, you might actually keep more Megazord bar with the character, because of the way the Megazords work now with having bar as opposed to having to lose characters to get it. So you might actually be able to keep a little bit more Megazord because you should be able to kill them faster with that. But that's essentially it. I guess small things is like if you Kara cancel M in the throw. So this is my throw. Very cool, right? So if you Kara cancel throw from this range, that doesn't work. You slide forward a bit, and during that slide forward, oh my god, it's hard for me to blink the opposite way. Please. There we go. But yeah, that's kind of a higher level technique. You don't need it to be good with the character, but stuff like that. There's not too many other higher level techniques with the character. He's pretty simple. Like I said, what you really want to work on is those incomings. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Call assist right there. Or my favorite, which is actually pretty hard to do, but I'll try. So this is my favorite right here. That was the cross up H. That shit's, it's kind of hard to do, but that's why I was talking about how the H can cross up sometimes. That stuff hurts because that does not look like a cross up initially. And also, if you do H real low to the ground, so this character in the snap situation in the corner is set play. He's set play AF. Apart from that, try not to jump too much. That would be my only advice. Because he is a character that kind of relies on his aerial normals. Because these normals are good, but you don't have a great way of staying safe and confirming good hits. This will keep you safe, but you can't confirm a good hit off of it. So, even though his movement's pretty good, you know, you're going to be spending a lot of time jumping because that's better than anything else you got. Just try not to jump too much because you'll get anti-aired and that's not good. Also, one other thing. It's light. I don't know. So you might notice when I get up, I do this backdash thing. So if you hold nothing, he'll just get up. But if you're holding back to block, he does this back hop. This back hop is what's going to get you killed. It's essentially, you can't do anything during it, so they have way more time to set up Oki. And the Oki can be disgusting. I really don't recommend wake up buttons with this character because you will get blown up a lot. So defense is pretty bad, but offense is really strong. If you like a really offensive character that kind of relies on air normals and has really strong set play during a snap or a kill situation in the corner, and also just has a really good tag out, really good combo damage, then this character for you. Thanks for watching.